What's going on, everybody? Corey with Corey's Computer Repair, and today I ran into a little bit of a problem that I can't really find a solution for on YouTube or Googling or Reddit or any of that. So I found a solution myself that I'm going to go with, so I wanted to share with everybody. So let me tell you what's going on. I had a customer come to me and say, hey, I got this older motherboard, older CPU, can you build a custom gaming PC for my son? I said, what do you got? He said, well, I got this Aorus Gaming 3 Pro. It's an X299 motherboard, LGA2066, and so is the CPU. What can you do for me? So I went online, I did the research, I found out that the Noctua NH-U12A, right here, is compatible. It doesn't come with the mounting kit anymore for the LGA2066 because it's older, but you could purchase it separately. Well, that's what I did. That's right here, the NM-I2011, which is also known as the Noctua Secure Firm 2 for LGA2066. So herein lies the problem, and I'll show you. Right here, these are the brackets, okay? I put them on. I don't have the screws holding them in place yet because I want to show you what's going on. They're faced outward. The arch is outward towards the RAM, right? That's how it should be. Now, the issue I'm having is if you take the cooler, here is the NH-U12A, and if you take a look, the screw holes don't line up. They are off by a little bit. On this side, they're off, and on the other side, it lines up. It's either one or the other, but it's not perfect. So what I thought is, all right, I'm going to take this off. Why not reverse the mounts? So I'm going to literally take this and flip it around so the arch is on the inside. So let's go ahead and do that. There's the right side, and I'm using the front screw position, the front hole position. All right, so now the arch is towards the CPU on both sides. Instead of arched out towards the RAM, it's arched inward. So now, let's take the Noctua NH-U12A and let's see. Look at that. The screws line up. Now, some of you may be wondering, yes, but does it tighten down okay? It does. And I'm going to show you that it works just fine. So we're going to tighten down the first screw. Tighten down the second screw. There's the third screw. And there's the fourth screw. All right. I already got thermal paste on here. We're going to go ahead and line it up. And I'm going to tighten a little bit on each side at a time. You never want to tighten one side all the way. You put too much strain on the processor. All right. There's the other one. And there we go. Both sides are secure. It fits. And more importantly, the CPU and the cold plate on the heatsink line up perfectly like this. That was my biggest concern, that they weren't going to line up, but they do. So there we go. Both fans are on. They are secure. The left side here just had to come up a little bit to clear the RAM, but that's not going to matter too much. The more important thing, though, is that the cold plate off the heatsink matches up perfectly with the top of the CPU. It lines up really well. So reversing the brackets work perfectly. Now, don't quote me on this, that this is the legitimate way to do it. By all means, I'm going to consider this a rig, but for this customer, it works. I will be making him aware of it. And just like that, I'm going to tell you guys, do this at your own risk. I hold no responsibility for any consequences of doing this. I'm just telling you that for my situation, it worked, and maybe for your situation, it'll work as well. Okay, the Noctua NH-U12A Black is installed. Now, I didn't install any case fans, as I'm sure you can see. I didn't do any cable management. I just wanted to power it on as is, bare minimum, to make sure that this CPU was being cooled by this Noctua cooler with the modified bracket positioning that I have done. So let's answer that question. I'm not going to cut. I'm just going to move over, and I'm going to zoom in here and look at that. 24 degrees Celsius. The fan speed for the CPU fans are moving at about 844 RPM. I have let this system go for about 20 to 30 minutes now, and it is keeping that CPU temp right at 23 to 24 degrees Celsius. So I would call this a win for a mod. There is no documentation for this, but I am here to show you full proof that this worked for me. Now, try it yourself. Maybe it'll work for you, maybe it won't. But my biggest concern was making sure that the heatsink cold plate made proper contact with the heat spreader, which is the part on top of the CPU, and that was flush, even directly above it, and it is working great. So once again, this is Corey for Corey's Computer Repair. Have a great day.